It's a good thing Mirio mastered his quirk. Otherwise, we probably would have a new meme. A strong hero doesn't need to hide his or her weakness. They acknowledge it. One who tries to hide it can't be considered strong. It can only lead them to their own downfall. Mirio takes the center stage in this gripping chapter, as he takes a giant leap to save Eri, but a lot of steps closer to his potential demise. This is a straightforward chapter that largely focuses on Mirio as a character. It doesn't lead to a series of backstory flashback, but instead forcing a monologue to display it, and I do mean force. It's not a bad thing either, since it does remain focused on the current situation and adds more to the thought of danger that Mirio is in. You can call it a setup to the real face-off in the next chapter, and with that in mind, it's a solid chapter. The brief confrontation with Overhaul is good, and after this chapter, the tension is higher than before. I like how he called Mirio out on his fault, failed to save the girl, and think he can make it up for it now. It's that mind game he was setting up for others to handle. The worst you can do is to manipulate the mind. I initially thought Mirio is spared by fighting against the other members of the 8 precepts, instead banging on the death door. That said, I didn't mind so much with him against Sakaki and Shin, because it does involve with Mirio's character. It still provides more quirks to present. Sakaki's quirk is dead drunk, which is self-explanatory. To elaborate, it takes away the sense of equilibrium of a nearby person, basically like a drunken person. Shin's quirk, however, had me chuckled. I have to admit, when Mirio explained his quirk, it felt out of place and weird, because why would anyone do that? It was so Bleach-like, and I had to laugh about it because that's not something that was a problem in that series. No offense to the fans. It's actually Shin's quirk that's doing the work. That forced him to actually speak out the truth, or whatever Shin seeks. And here I thought he actually did explain it, because I would have been like, seriously? You're really doing this now? It's a pretty manipulative quirk that can ruin the image of a hero, but it's a nice way to expose Mirio as a character. Not to say I was expected to reveal he's the true evil mastermind or anything like that, but it allows him to showcase the difference from others who can be placed in the same situation. The series didn't want to stay focused with the battle, because that's not the intention. While it was told before during Sun Eater's battle, this is more of an elaborated description. It's a nice encouraging set piece based on Mirio's backstory. It's about weakness, and many would say that the weakness can be your downfall. If you can't hide it, you can't develop. In this case, it's based on acknowledgement of your weakness, and instead of hiding it, develops from it. It fits his character well ever since he was introduced. It's a quirk that his weakness was elaborated, and it makes sense in the long run. This was something that could have put him down for good and escape from the journey to be a hero. He knows it, but doesn't quit because of it. It's a nice take on the thought of weakness, put in a good feels moment. It's no wonder he reacted heavily when he learned that he failed to save Eri. The thought of weakness shouldn't get him discouraged. Now he's going to make it up, not for himself, but for Eri. That's a real hero. The best part is the end, because of how it transpired from his character's backstory, making the chapter as a whole meaningful. However, that wasn't the only reason why it was the best part. Oh no, it was the way how it executed. The execution of how Mirio comes to save Eri is so damn good. The confrontation between him and Overhaul is thrilling and fully realized, and the sequence is pretty impressive. The detail of how Mirio uses his transparent to miss Eri but hit the guard is great. Detail like that makes you wish to see more of those clever ways to use the quirk and to their own advantage that sometimes you could either predict or something that you would never possibly thought of it, but it's so damn good. She is safe for now because, well, Mirio has gotten himself a couple of extra death flags. Time was wasted, unless Dragon Ball logic is implied, so hopefully other heroes are on their way. The visual is pretty solid as well. The double page spread is pretty cool. The Attack Phantom Menace is an obvious reference to Star Wars. I hope he doesn't get killed for that, and I understand because it is arguably the worst Star Wars movie, or maybe the next one is. I'm not one to judge. The last sequence with Muriel and Overhaul is gripping. I like every panels, and the sequence of the transparent is so good. More of clever use of quirk needs to happen in this series. The narration is a bit odd during the connection to the past and present since the narrator begins to speak. It come out of nowhere and it kind of disrupts the narration flow between Shin and Muriel, but it's minor. It has done a good job to set up the grudge between the two. It's a solid chapter that is somewhat a setup. It's good to see the insight of Muriel, and although the henchmen may not matter much later, we still got some more quirks to behold. The ending is a good feels moment with Eri being saved, but we are not out of danger yet. Either those death flags will end Muriel, or they will be wiped out by another hero who shares the same goal. I'm giving this chapter an 8. What are your thoughts of this chapter? Do you think Muriel and Overhaul are going to fight each other in the next chapter? Or you think Deku will actually come and save Muriel and Eri just in time? We don't know how many time has passed, but that's the tricky part to use a flashback for your narrative use. I know a lot of people are predicting Muriel may die. We don't know yet. He could still be injured heavily, or he could just be fine in the end. Anything goes. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.